The Billings community is filled with acts of kindness, generous people, and gifts. The levels of that generosity run deep and wide. This year marks 70 years of giving from a Montana man whose love and loyalty lives on. Here's Q2's Janelle Slade.
This was always his home. This is really the only place he wanted to be. He was in Montana through and through. He loved this community.
The Alberta Bear Theater, the Ronald McDonald House, Family Service, the YMCA. It seems everywhere you look, there's a piece of Philip Fortin and his legacy.
So that's Mary Alice. Yep, that's Mary Alice. And that's Phil Fortin. Way back when.
Today, his story is told by Danielle Moore, the current mayor of Palm Beach, Florida, and Phil Fortin's only grandchild.
He was just the nicest man, and because he didn't have children, he didn't know how children were supposed to act, so he didn't know if I was good or bad, but he thought I was pretty good.
The late oil man married Moore's grandmother, Mary Alice, in 1968. Moore was just 5 at the time.
I called him Papa.
Upon Mr. Fortin's death in 1982, Mary Alice continued the tradition of giving. Today, Moore, her mother, and her aunt lead both Fortin foundations.
You knew he was smart, you knew he was a shrewd businessman, but he was very quiet.
Quiet but deliberate in how he worked and how he gave.
He was all about that you wanted to give to help people get ahead, but not teach them how to suck the life out of your community.
His lessons of community, connection, and support passed on to his family so they can carry on.
Because everybody needs a hand once in a while, but you have to be making progress towards self-sufficiency, or, I hate to say it, you're wasting your money, because you want to help the people who want to help themselves.
They took a risk on us.
Eric Basie is the executive director of community leadership and development. Basie says with the help from the Fortin Foundations over the last 8 years, CLDI has built 65 low-income housing units with more on the way, as well as a coffee shop. All this to carry out its mission on the Billings South Side.
And so it really is creating not an impactful need now, but it's also for many years to come, continually reinvesting back into the community for ultimately the good of the community.
So we gave him enough of a hand, but he ran with it.
Moore says it's those impactful gifts that make a difference. The difference Phil Fortin set out to make.
It was started by a great man who had an incredible commitment to his community. Loyalty was pretty much #1 in his book. Loyalty to his family and his community. And we're going to stick to that.
In Billings, Janelle Slade, MTN News.